Welcome to Grow and Preserve. I'm Carter, and I'm glad you're here with me today. Something very important I want to share with you. I filmed a video yesterday canning some tomatoes, and everything went fine until I went to pull them out of the canner. And I had put too few jars in the canner because I was focused on filming, and they toppled over. One jar was even upside down. One of them didn't seal. Anyway, it was just one of those things. So I put everything in the refrigerator last night. Most of them sealed, but I put everything in the refrigerator last night, and then we're going to use them today. So there are multiple ways we could use these. I could make sauce. I could stick them in the freezer, wait till I had enough tomatoes to make sauce, which was really what I was considering. But then I woke up this morning and I thought, you know what? I have all this fresh produce in the garden. Let's make some gazpacho for lunch. So here's ridiculous. So water siphoned out, water probably got in from the can. I don't know. It was just one of those things. 10 years I've been canning, and I have never ever seen a jar turn upside down in the canner. Literally, I had one like that. Everything else was laying down. You know, I expected to put 12 jars in. I ended up putting 5 jars in, and just kind of left my brain that I needed to fill up the extra space. So anyway, I thought, well, what better example to give you than what to do with a fail than my fail. So I have my Vitamix here, which I absolutely love, use it all the time. And I have a recipe that I'm gonna very loosely follow. This is an Alton Brown recipe. I will link it below for gazpacho. A lot of folks put bread or cream in their gazpacho. I don't do any of that. I like the fresh taste of the vegetables. So I'm gonna loosely follow his, and I don't have any tomato sauce. Normally, if I were making my gazpacho, I like the, the hot and spicy Mr. and Mrs. T's or something like that you make Bloody Mary with. So I don't have any hot and spicy, but I do have a jalapeno, and I do have some cayenne pepper if we need it. So I'm gonna turn this pathetic little jar of tomatoes into tomato juice. Tomato juice, I guess we'd call it. And then these will be my chunky tomatoes inside the soup. And I'm gonna bring you down here. You probably hear something going on behind me. That is my pressure canner heating up. I'm in the middle of doing a canning chicken video. So I'm gonna see if I can bring you down here so you can see what I have collected from the garden. Everything I'm putting into this, except of course the jarred ingredients, is from the garden. So I have cucumbers. Oops, no, I just lied to you. I did not grow the garlic this year. I'm gonna grow garlic next year, but I didn't do it this year. So I have cucumbers that I have peeled and seeded. I have an orange pepper that I picked this morning that I have seeded and chopped up. I have a couple of very small onions that I grew in the garden this year, and a jalapeno that I pulled out of the garden. And of course, all these tomatoes were in the garden, came from the garden. So I don't know, we're gonna see. It's gonna turn out just fine. I'm gonna drain off the water. And I'm gonna put those in that jar. And I think I'm gonna put a second jar that also, this one is a little bit better, but still, it shouldn't look like that. So we're gonna turn it into something wonderful. Okay, so 2 of those jars in there. I'm gonna put the blender on and blend this up until it is like a juice. And then I'm gonna put these other ingredients in here. Let's see. So I'm probably going to tune out the noise on this because it'll make quite the racket. So I'm just gonna add ingredients one by one, and we will turn this into gazpacho. All right, here we go. Okay, that's the tomato sauce base. We're gonna go in with the, let's go with the garlic. And we'll go in with the peppers. I'm gonna put it all in here. The onions. Jalapeno. There's a lot of cucumber here because I'm tired of making pickles. See how that works out. I'm not going to do it as fast or as long. I'm going to make it kind of choppy. Shake it up a little bit. Ooh, that's looking pretty good. Can you see that? That looks pretty delicious. I'm going to take a little taste. I have some clean spoons over here. That's actually really good. I'm going to add this other jar of tomatoes. I can find my can opener. I'm going to add that with the juice. All right, I'm going to put a touch of lime juice in there. Maybe a tablespoon. I'm going to put a little bit of coconut aminos. Alton's recipe calls for Worcestershire sauce. We don't use that because of the gluten. So I'm going to do that instead. Put some pepper in here. And some salt, a good bit of salt. Maybe half a teaspoon. We'll do short. Grab another clean spoon. You see what that looks like? Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so good. I think I need a little more salt. So another quarter teaspoon perhaps. Oh my goodness, that is so good. A little bit of lime juice. One more little whir around. Okay. Let's have some lunch, shall we? You know, kitchen work is messy. It just is. My husband always laughs at me. I wonder how I can make such a mess in the kitchen. I don't know. It just happens. Okay. Can you see this? Yes, you can. Lunch. Big bowl of gazpacho there. Oh, it's delicious though. I also have some fresh basil in the garden today, so I'm going to grab that. I'm going to chop up, turn back around this way just a little bit. Chop up some fresh basil. That off. Put a basil on top. I love basil, so we'll use a lot of basil maybe. And some cucumber chunks. There we go. Now let's try that. Oh my gosh. That's delicious. That was worth messing up the whole batch of tomatoes. So I hope what you'll take from this is that it can mess up. Anything can mess up. Not to worry. You can always use it. Just refrigerate it. Figure out something to do with it in the morning. This was a great use of those tomatoes. So I may have to do some of that with tomatoes I've canned successfully. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. This is Grow and Preserve. I'm Carter. I hope you'll like. I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll come back and see me. I hope you'll go see me over on the chicken video that I'm filming. I don't know if that one will be out first or this one will be out first, but I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Bye-bye.